Hey, what's up? Ward Wrestling Live here. A great guest. We've had him on before. Gabe Rangel, who's now wrestling for USA Beach Wrestling, just was in Greece. He's been traveling around the world. Prior to that, he was a Grand View wrestler. Spent some time in Illinois. Spent a year with Omi over in Life, and now he's working on his masters. He had a unfortunate injury, torn labrum, but I think we're going to see him back on the mat. We've definitely seen him on the sand all around the world, and we're going to talk beach wrestling. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Glad to be back on and conversating with you and to share where I'm at, in my career now.
Yeah, it's been a while. I remember talking to you on the porch in Illinois, and you had just gone through some or getting ready to go through a surgery or something to get your labrum fixed,
Yeah.
and here we are a few years later, and you're winning medals on the sand.
Yeah, absolutely. Not quite there yet. I'm ranked fourth in the world right now, but I plan to have a great performance at the world final in a couple weeks, and that'll put me in the position to secure at least a bronze medal. If I'm top three, then that means world medal and prize money. So that's the goal I'm striving for right now.
Yeah, that's cool. We have a few coaches down here in Jabari Irons, and then we also have one of the twins that coach down at Cardinal Gibbons that are both competing on the world level at beach wrestling. So we're cheering them on
Yeah.
as well. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't know you knew Jabari. Yeah, that's my boy. We were roommates last year at a competition in Barbados, and obviously he's very high level and a great dude, so we connected very well.
Yeah, man, that boy's he looks like he's ripped out of a concrete wall, right?
Yeah, he's a
He keeps
stud.
him. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he's doing well down there. And then, of course, we've got one of the twins from Cardinal Gibbons at Residency State. He's over there too. That's awesome. Um, Man, so I know you feel like beach wrestling doesn't get as much love as it should, and but it seems like it's starting to grow. We're starting to see it offered at Fargo. We're starting to see it offered at different national tournaments around the country. I know getting to experience the Puerto Rican national team and going off to Peru. They unfortunately the I think the weather did. They offered beach wrestling at the Pan American Games or Pan Am
Mhm.
Championships, whichever one it was. So you're starting to see it kind of start to flourish. You know, what got you involved in it?
Yeah, no, it absolutely is, and it's making its way up there, especially in the United States. But what got me involved was actually I had a teammate at Life University, Mark Bonilla, who was on the beach team. He actually won beach nationals, made a world team, and that was one of my training partners and friends. And he did his thing. And when I seen him do that, I was like, that could be something that I could achieve. And I've always been I've always been focused on making a world team, whether it was Greco, beach, freestyle. Like I didn't know what exactly. So, and then when I tried it out, I went to the nationals, and that was a world team qualifier, placed top four. And then yeah, I was like, well, I have the opportunity to be a world champ. So yeah, this is fun wrestling. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, whether it's freestyle, Greco, beach, an opportunity to represent the best country in the world, and obviously compete for world championships is like something I wouldn't have dreamed of as a kid. So
Yeah, and coming up through wrestling, and I know at the youth level you experienced a lot of high level stuff, but going into how cool has it been to be able to travel the world? I mean, where have you been this summer?
yeah, it's been a major blessing. And like I said, I wouldn't have thought that I would have been doing this 10 years ago or when I was a little kid looking forward. But so far, so I started the international competitions last October, I believe, that was the world championship actually. So my first tournament was a pretty big one in Turkey, which was that was the last leg of last season's beach series. So I did Turkey. I did an open in Barbados, which was an international comp, but it wasn't like UWW affiliated. So I did those two. I actually tweaked my shoulder a little more there. So after that, I took some time off to recover a couple months and got a stem cell shot in my shoulder to kind of reset and help things heal up, and that made a big difference. And then now I've been to Romania, Greece, and then now I'm looking ahead for like I said, in the next couple weeks I'll be heading out to Croatia for my second world championship. So excited to finish the season off there.
Wow, pretty awesome. And I'm sure you're making a lot of good friends. I know you mentioned Jabari down in Barbados, and he's a good dude. So transitioning to beach wrestling, being a big guy, you got were you a Greco guy coming up? Did you do a lot of Greco? Did Greco help the transition make it easier, or does it matter? Just get out there and wrestling's wrestling.
Yeah, a little bit of both, honestly. Like in my mindset, wrestling's wrestling. It's all a fight. So, I was gonna give myself the same chance that, I did on the Greco scene. But yeah, going back to that Greco scene, I went to U23s twice in my college career. The first one, I actually beat a guy from the Olympic Training Center. Had a controversial match, I guess, but I got my hand raised, walked off the mat, came back for All American rounds, and they said there was a technical violation that would have changed the outcome of the match. So they gave the win to the other guy, and that was kind of like a definitely like mind blowing for me that that could even happen. But that was my first time, and then second time there at U23s, I had gotten third and kind of came back for vengeance and seeing that that was an opportunity where I could not only make up for the year before, but really test myself and see where I was at that level. And like I said, I got top three. I placed third there, and then that was right before my last season at Grandview. So I kind of halted after that, and then since we talked, like I said, switched more into the beach scene and made that transition. But honestly, around the world, there's a lot of countries where they're sending their freestyle representatives, their Greco representatives. Like it's not just like they're just sending the leftovers. Like there's literally like an Olympian. Yeah, because I guess
Yeah.
people really don't know the level of that competition, but like there's actually a guy in the Olympics who is ranked lower than me, and like there's plenty of people who are ranked throughout the beach wrestling World Series that competed at the Olympics. And I just think that speaks to not only how strong this opportunity is, but like I said, the level of people that are getting involved. It's not just anybody. And when US is sending a team and we're out there competing, it's like we're obviously putting out our best people forward and really trying to not only compete at the world level, but bring it back to the US and show these kids like there is other opportunities. There is another way that, if you don't make a freestyle Greco team, you can still, like I said, have that chance for a world championship and to make a world team.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you because initially when I, I mean, when I got into wrestling, I didn't know anything about anything, right?
Yeah.
So going to some tournaments, you started to see where, hey, they're going to do beach wrestling at this tournament. It kind of became a little bit like, oh, if the kids want to have a little fun after the tournament, we're going to do beach
Yeah.
too. And it was kind of like a chance. It was almost like a vacation for wrestlers. Like, oh, we can go have fun on the beach. We can go hang out in the sand.
Yeah.
Is it? Excuse me. But it seems like it's turned into where it's becoming pretty competitive, and it's. I mean, from what I understand, it's going to be in the Olympics. I think on
Yeah.
the
So
female and the male side, it's going to be in the Olympics now. I think maybe next cycle.
they're making that push. So I was hoping they'd get it into LA for the next ones. Obviously, I'm out here in California, so that'd be like perfect. But I think they put flag football in instead. So it's like whatever. But hopefully we can still make that push and get beach wrestling in because like I said, it's another opportunity. But and then at the same time, that's just going to bring higher level people, not only from the US, but around the world to try to fight for those spots and just make the team stronger. So, there is an aspect where it's like, yeah, it's fun. It's on a beach, so it can be like a vacation type setting. But at the highest level, like regardless, you have to commit 1,000% and take it serious. Otherwise, you will get embarrassed. And it's like at the level that I've been fortunate to compete at, like I've understood a lot of that. Like these other countries, they're not just putting it in as an extra style. Like they're training this, they're sending the federations are paying for their guys to go out and compete in this style and bring world championships back. And it's like if they're taking it that serious and they're getting that support, why can't we? So
I think you
that's
miss, yeah, and I think you see a lot, you miss a lot of participation when it's attached to a big tournament because I
yeah,
think kids like if my son is going to compete or a kid is going to compete at a Fargo or even a Pan Am's or even a national world team trying to make it and they're being asked to go do beach too, the concern for injury, the concern for something to happen, and it's to them, it's not you hear, well, it's not as important as competing at the Fargo or competing at the freestyle Greco or competing at this. So when it's attached to a tournament like that, I think the participation is tough to get the really, 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 really good guys, right? Because
yeah,
they're
that makes sense.
little concerned with that. But I would love
Yeah,
to see them start to do big individual invites, right? Where that's what people are training for. That's the focus. I think
yeah.
it would be pretty neat. What's the I know a lot of times it's on a beach, but a lot of times they're also bringing in buckets of sand and making you a beach, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's the coolest spot you've wrestled at so far?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, yeah, it's because like obviously like all beaches are beautiful in their own way. Um,
Right.
but it is way different, than like my first qualifier for the World Team Trials was Carolina Beach, which was like in the U.S. obviously, but and then I went out to Turkey, and that was just like it's honestly kind of surreal. Like I was in Turkey to see like just the environment there, how different it is, how fortunate we are, to have the advancements in society and like how nice everything is. And then in Greece, for example, like in the background, you could literally see Mount Olympus. So like we were wrestling
Oh,
on a
wow.
beach, like yeah, in front of Mount Olympus, which is like crazy because one, that's where the Olympics originated, but there's just so much history there and so much that goes back, like that's bigger than wrestling. And just to be like I said, in the position to represent my country, to compete doing what I love was, just like sometimes you definitely got to sit back and remind yourself, like, regardless of the outcome of the competition, like, you're in a position that, a lot of people don't get to be in. And, that's why like I'm not satisfied with where I'm at by any means, but like I definitely don't take it for granted. Like I can't be, disappointed that I haven't won yet because I'm learning, I'm getting better. But my coach from the beach team, Timmy Box, he's out here from California as well. But after my performance this weekend didn't go the way I wanted, he just reminded me, like, dude, take a round and look where you're at. Like you've made it this far, you're here, and you have a chance to get better. And it's like yeah, so I'm hard on myself, but at the same time, like I've definitely had a lot of thankfulness and gratefulness, to not only represent our country, but just have from where I'm from, like have the opportunity to be there, represent my family and all that, this
That's good
especially like
stuff.
yeah, I was just gonna mention like, just the people that I came up with as well, like um a lot of people can relate to this, but where I'm from, like a lot of people do not make it that far. And even like people I went to college with or high school with that were maybe so-called better than me at one point. Like just how persistence can pay off and hard work. Like it's so cliche, but dude, it's so true. Like I just stuck with it. And, like I said, now I
Yeah.
have this opportunity and kind
Oh
of
yeah,
was able to
we
revamp
saw
my
that on
career.
the we saw that at Olympic trials this year. There was some a few Greco guys that have been going at it for years, and
Yeah.
I look at Joe Rao, man,
Yeah.
awesome dude, makes it all the way to the Olympics. Um, So explain to us the scoring.
Okay, so the difference is I'll give you like a general overview. It's a 3-minute match. It's the first to 3 points. The way you can get points is push outs is one, a takedown is one. So you get to the legs, take them down. Obviously, that's one. But if you throw them, or like let's say blast double through to their feet to back, then that's 3 points, which ends the match. And like
And this is
my
the first of three, right?
yeah, yeah. So no matter how that comes, if it's 3 1s, 1 3, which I've had, I've ended matches with a headlock, just having a 3 point move and being able to be done with it. But they're trying to make it simpler to the spectators as well. Because sometimes watching freestyle and Greco and having so many styles, people are like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they score, but they're trying to make it not only simpler for the wrestlers, but also, like I said, for the spectators to understand.
You know, it stands at the beach. Are they serving beer? Are there people hanging out having hot dogs? Are they yelling and screaming? Is it beach life, or
Okay, so yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
quite literally. I mean, there's been a couple tournaments that's like right outside the deck of a bar, so it's like there's people who are just there to visit the beach and they see us competing and they go have a drink or get some food and sit down and check out the sport, and it's like that's also giving opportunity for a different crowd of spectators as opposed to just being in a hot sweaty gym and people just like, okay, I know this is where the tournament is. So let me go watch. It's like this is also just bringing a chance for different viewership and
Yeah. And there
um,
may be
yeah,
people in that bar or restaurant that go, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can. How,
yeah,
how do I learn how to do that? Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, a little different, right? I know when I was talking to Jabari, because of the way the sand is, he said you kind of learn how to feel with your feet, right? You kind of learn how to
yeah,
feel for holes or mountains or different sand areas, hard, soft, because you want to make sure it's tough to get grip, right? Because if you go
yeah.
in
There's
like on a mat, you got shoes and rubber, and if you go
yeah,
in for something, and so you've really got to dig your toes in. So I'm sure you've learned little tricks like that. Uh, it's
yeah.
really cool. I want to get out and I want to get out to one and check it out. I'd love to do like it's probably pretty cool to photo. Probably have a lot of fun times doing that. So I know right now this is your track, right? I mean, do you think that's where you're going to stay? Do you think you're going to stay in that lane, or is a dream of yours to? I know you still have a year of eligibility left. You feel healthy. You're getting your master's degree. You're back home. Um, will we get to see you again at a college at some level? Is Greco trying to compete and make another Greco world team? Is that an option for you, or do you kind of like where you're at right now, and is this the lane that you might stay in?
Yeah, so my plan right now is like I said, I'm getting my master's. I'm here in California, but yeah, I'm going to use my last year of college eligibility here at Westcliff University, which is a first year men's program coached by Darrell Gist, who we go way back from, coaching together and we wrestled together in Iowa, but he got the job here and I grew up a big Kobe and Lakers fan. And when he passed, I was like, okay, he can't make a comeback, but I could do what I love and bring some titles to, the state that he brought his championships to. So yeah, to answer that question, that the college route, yes, I'm gonna, focus on getting the national title done, winning my national championship this last year, as well as, finishing with the world medal in beach wrestling. And then from there, yeah, I mean, I think I'd do like the U.S. Open, just to compete and show that I can still excel and I can still have success on that Greco scene. But I think full time, like the beach scene is something that I'm gonna fully pursue, especially once I'm done with college. Like I can just coach and start even my own beach wrestling club or something and spread it that way. But and then at the same time, still focus on building my career and, seeing how far I can take it. Cause, I mean, I'm ranked fourth in the world right now, and this is I haven't even had a full year of beach wrestling on the scene. So it's just like if I can do that now, I'm not even as good as, I believe I can be. So it's just like, why would I not pursue and, take advantage of, being where I'm at and being a world champ, which is the end goal, like regardless.
And it seems like you see a longer lifeline for a wrestler in on the beach or and even in Greco. I mean, we saw the guy from Army W Cap that was 40
Oh,
years old
yeah. Yep.
competing at the Olympic trials. He's a and you see these guys that are older still being able to do that. Um, something you want to do long term.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the guys who are ranked 1 and 2 in the world at my weight class right now are like 33 and 35. So like they've been in the game for a while, but obviously like I just turned 27. So that's why I feel like the sky really is the limit, for what I can do in this sport. Because, I finished with the world medal this year. That checks that off the list. I work my way into being the world champ. That checks that off the list. But and then it's like, I mean, even until 35, that's like 8 years. And I don't know if I plan on wrestling that long, but it's like, why couldn't I win multiple world championships? Why couldn't I put together, one of the best seasons for American men's wrestling and on the beach? Like, there's just things that I feel like, I'm destined and I have a calling that, I'm going to try to do and at least fight for. I'd rather go down fighting and try to strive for something greater. And, great results are going to come along with that.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're back. Glad you're healthy. I mean, is there life after wrestling for you? Is it something that is there a business? Is there a dream, or is wrestling going to be life? I mean, are you going to be in coaching, or do you have do, you- are you going to school? Are there other things you want to do, or
Yeah, no,
is this where you're going to
absolutely.
stay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, wrestling will always be life, and everything I've learned from wrestling and been able to achieve, I'll always carry with me. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting my MBA. I do plan to open some successful businesses, have my own kids club, different things like that. And like, I have an idea of what I want to do, but not necessarily like the exact the exact format like set up yet. Like, I want to have a kids club and have businesses, but I don't know exactly where um and all that. So it's like right now I'm just kind of focusing on being at the best where I'm at now, if that makes sense. So it's like
That's awesome.
getting a 3.5 GPA at least in this master's degree, finishing my college career, with the best outcome, pursuing this beach scene and getting the best results is only going to set me up for when I am coaching. I do have my own club. It's like I gave my full self and I was able to achieve great things. And then the next step, it's going to be, that same commitment level. So, yeah, I mean, I guess like I have what I want to do, but not necessarily the exact, exact roadmap like laid out yet. But with where I'm
That's
at now, I feel like it's going to put me in the right position, if that makes sense.
yeah. Sometimes something I ask wrestlers is, um, one day you one day you may have children, right?
Yeah.
And knowing what you know now about wrestling, would you bring them up through the same process you went through? What are some things that you would do differently?
Yeah, I think absolutely. It's like because of what I've learned from wrestling, who it's made me, like anything else I do, I know I'm gonna be successful. And it's gonna like I don't want to say it's gonna be easy, but it's gonna be simple compared to what I had to do to get where I'm at in wrestling, going through injuries, having to lose weight, like all that is gonna come into factor. And then yeah, when I have my kid, like if he wants to do baseball, um, music, like play chess. I don't care what it is. I'm going to support him. But the principles that I learned through wrestling, I can help teach him to apply to whatever his craft is. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like I'd love for him to wrestle, and that'd be easy for me to coach and stuff. But if it's not that path, like still the principles and the lessons I've learned is going to help him be a better man at least,
That's awesome.
or women, whatever, boy or girl, whatever end up happening.
Maybe they'll start little at beach wrestling.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, we all couch wrestled growing up, and we all living
exactly.
room wrestled growing,
Yeah,
getting thrown around. Well, it's awesome, man. I'm glad to catch up with you. I'm glad you're doing well. Uh,
absolutely.
keep in touch with me. I'll keep let me know when you're competing so I can try to find a place to watch it and
No,
just
I can send you the stream for my world championships in a few weeks. That will be like they always have it on YouTube and the beach wrestling. So one for USA Beach Wrestling, they're doing a great job of trying to promote and do what they can. But the UWW wrestling actually does a great job of promotion, video, and like everything. So they do have a streaming service that's free. You can watch the matches on YouTube and I can send you the link and the time and everything for that, once it gets closer so you can tune in.
oh, very cool. Yeah, I would love to do that. And man, good luck with everything and looking forward to seeing you be one in the world and not four. So that'd be
Absolutely.
super cool. All right, man. Well, enjoy your day, and I appreciate you coming on with me.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you having me on, and it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely.